Hello and welcome to the second ever Hot Wheels Festival of Speed. 2 years later, this series is back, and today we have a whole bunch of cars ready to take on the course for this year. The course for this year is longer than it was 2 years ago, and all of these cars are rearing and ready to get started. Let's take a closer look at this year's track. The cars will start with that single lane starting gate, going down a super steep downhill, going up to a high banked blue turn. Cars will carry a lot of speed around this corner, so you got to be heavy and you got to be fast to go around that one. Then the track will go down a couple of ramps coming out of that blue turn, keeping the elevation for a little bit before hitting the ground, and on their way down they will hit this little dirt patch, so Hot Wheels have to make sure that they do not skid or mess up there. And next up we have the orange turn. A lot of cars won't have the speed to get around here, but if they do, it'll be a nice high speed banked turn that cars will have to try and get around, leading to the third straightaway that will lead them to as far as they can go. A lot of cars are going to have to try and get to the end here. Will any cars get to the end? We'll have to find out. Now, time to take a look at our cars. First up, we have a Mazda MX-5 with some beautiful wheels and blue paint. Behind it, we have a Nissan 180SX Type X in a red. Very clean looking JDM car here. Behind it, we have Brian's Nissan Skyline from Fast and Furious, looking very fast and ready to take down this track. Behind it, we have the future generation of Nissan. We got the GTR in orange, looking very nice. And then behind it, rounding off the JDM starting the supercars, is the Ferrari 488 GTB. And right behind that, we have some American muscle, the Dodge Viper in blue with those very nice looking wheels and red stripe, ready to show off what America has to offer. Behind it, we have the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento, the cover car from last time, only this time it is gray. It did very good last time. Let's see if it'll do good this time. Behind that, we have the blue BMW M4, looking very clean and very ready to race. Behind that is the Porsche 944 in gold, a newcomer to the Hot Wheels scene, looking very clean there. Behind it, we have a Porsche Turbo in that blue paint. There was a super treasure hunt of this car, but that is not the variation racing today. Not very fast. We'll see how it does. Next up, we have a Mercedes-Benz CLK with that silver interior and silver paint. Haven't seen this car in a lot of videos, so it'll be nice to see how it does. Behind it, its Mercedes counterpart, the Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren. Behind that is, of course, the Ferrari Enzo in yellow. It could not be a festival of speed without the Enzo. And now the cover car for today, we have the Bugatti Divo for Matchbox, brand new out of the factory. We'll see how it does. Now for its Bugatti brothers, we have the red Bugatti Veyron and the blue Bugatti Chiron rounding right after it. Behind the Chiron, more hypercars to come. We have the McLaren P1 in blue. Love those gray wheels on that thing. Then we have the McLaren Senna, a beautiful car that came out in 2018 with those very nice wheels, and the windows there are pretty cool as well. Next up, we have a Tomica Lamborghini Huracan Performante. We'll see how Tomica can do. Next up, we have the Aston Martin Vulcan rounding it out for the hypercars. And finally, the last car to go is let's go ahead and get started with the racing. First up, we have that blue Mazda. Let's see how far it can go around the blue corner. All right, it was a very low car. It gets around the second corner though. Very surprised by that. Usually cars with the lower suspension don't do too well in that corner. Next up, we have another JDM car, the Nissan 180SX Type X, and it will not make it around that second orange corner. So far, no wipeouts on the blue turn. That is good to hear. We have Paul Walker. Very, very nice looking car there. That GTR goes around the blue corner as well, carries its speed around the orange corner. We're going to have a new leader getting the longest distance, passing out that Mazda there. Very good run for him. Now the more recent GTR is up next. This is another car that's very low to the ground. It manages to get around that blue corner quick, but doesn't manage to get around that orange corner. That orange corner is going to be the death of a lot of cars because all of these fancy looking cars have very low splitters, and I don't think that's the move. Now we have the Ferrari 488 GTB from Tomica barely making it around that blue corner. Doesn't even make it to the orange corner. Not a horrible performance, but also not very good either. Now we have the Dodge Viper from the USA hitting the track. Manages to go around the corner very well, maintaining the speed on the front backstretch there, and then lands on the front stretch just behind the Skyline. Not a new leader just yet. Next up, we have our cover car from last year, the Lamborghini Sesto Elementico. This is a car to look out for. Let's see how it goes around the corner very fast. Manages to keep its speed around the orange corner as well, but it does not have the speed on the final straight, not even passing the American Viper. Next up, we have the BMW M4 from Germany. All of the German cars are coming up next. The M4 with a very nice first corner, very nice second corner as well. Gonna pass the Skyline for your new leader, the BMW M4 in blue. Very good first impression for Germany today. Next up, we have that Porsche 944 that has recently come out as a Hot Wheel. Let's see how it does on his first run. Goes down the little slope there and barely doesn't make it to the orange corner. Not a very good follow-up car for that M4, but that M4 had a very good performance, to be fair. Next up, we have another Porsche, and the Porsche is not going to make it around the blue turn. I was not expecting that. Very bad performance there. Not enough speed. Could not have the downforce to get around that corner. Very unfortunate. Next up, we have the Mercedes-Benz CLK. As he goes around the blue corner, almost falls off like the car before him, and we're going to have a second to last place car in that Mercedes. BMW set the bar very high with that BMW M4. Does not look like people are going to try and hit that bar. Next up, we have the Matchbox Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren. Very speedy around that corner. Doesn't make it to the orange corner, though. These German cars are not holding together as well as I thought with that BMW M4. And just like that, we're back to Ferrari with the Ferrari Enzo in yellow. This thing's very fast around that blue corner, holding the speed well on the final stretch. Not a bad run. He's going to finish right in front of Paul Walker's GTR. Very, very good run. The Enzo has always been very fast on this track, but now we have the Bugatti Divo ready to annihilate this track from Matchbox. Its first racing debut. Let's see how the Divo does. Goes around the blue corner all right. Down the slope. Looks like he's carrying a lot of speed, and he just barely completes the orange corner. That is a respectable distance and a good first run for that Bugatti Divo. Next up, we have the Bugatti Veyron. Following up his Bugatti brother down the track. He should be faster because he's a Hot Wheel. Takes that blue corner very quick. Passes the Bugatti Divo and the Mazda MX-5 Miata. And is in a very decent finishing position. And finally, for our final Bugatti, we got the Bugatti Chiron heading down, hits the blue turn. This car is very low to the ground, so yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't make it around the orange corner. It does not. It gets farther than most of the other cars, not making it around the orange corner, but with a low splitter like that, there's not much you can do. Next up, we have the McLaren P1 in blue as it hits the blue corner very well. Again, another car with a low splitter. Low splitters are not the thing to have on this Festival of Speed today. The McLaren, not a very good showing. But next up, we have a McLaren Senna. Hopefully the Senna can do better, but again, all of these hypercars with the low splitter not doing well. This car slows down so much on that blue turn, and it's not even going to get very far after that final downhill after the blue turn. Very far behind that Mercedes, and if you don't include the Porsche, that is our last place car. Next up, we have the Lamborghini Huracan Performante as it goes around the corner. Very slow around the corner, barely gets there, but he's able to hold the speed a little bit more than the Senna and pass the Senna, so he is not second to last there. Only third to last. That is not the worst. And with our second to last car, we have the Aston Martin Vulcan in white. Now, I've been talking about low splitters all day. This car is a very low splitter, very fast down the hill, manages to keep his speed on the backstretch, but that Aston Martin Vulcan does pretty well rounding it off for the regular cars. Now we have the most interesting car for today. We have the Thomas, what is that? Yeah, the Thomas the Tank Engine car. Just got that from my announcers. Very fast around that blue corner. I was not expecting that. Fast down the orange corner. We haven't seen a car go around the orange corner in a while that quick. And it's going to land right behind the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. BMW M4, currently your winner for today's tournament, just beating out the Enzo and the Skyline. It is a very fast car, and it proved itself today on the second ever Hot Wheels Festival of Speed. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more cars like this and you're hyped for that Bugatti Divo to come out, make sure you like the video, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Peace.